So what we're going to look at today is actually making weights heavier. Now, specifically, we're going to look at making weights heavier or things more difficult from a program design standpoint. Depending on the object you're talking about, somebody could potentially find more leverage on something, on a body weight thing that could move further or farther away on something to manipulate their body weight. But we're actually going to look at the program side of how to make a kettlebell or a dumbbell heavier. So for example, if I was going to want to make this heavier and I wanted to work on some lower body exercises, or even upper body too, obviously, I would want to look at maybe tempo. So looking at your tempo on that, if I was doing, say, a staggered stance deadlift here, I could take maybe 3 seconds to come down, pause for a whole second, and go ahead and come up. So that's going to be something that's going to take a lot more contraction and energy and strength just to maintain that. That's going to be a lot different than just doing it, at a regular tempo. I could also completely pick this leg up, do the same thing, just really taking time to come down, pausing, and coming up. Now, the other thing I could look at doing too is speeding up the tempo. So how fast you're contracting is going to make a difference in how your muscles are reacting too. So the rate of force contraction is going to change the adaptation that your body is trying to adapt to. So right now, let's say you want to deadlift heavy, but you don't have access to something heavier. Changing just the tempo is going to give you more results than just potentially doing the same thing with a lighter weight. Now, obviously, if that's only 5 pounds, that's still going to apply to that, but it's going to be harder to make 5 pounds heavier in this situation for that deadlift exercise comparably, but you kind of get my drift. Now, the other thing you can look at doing is supersetting your exercises. Potentially, let's say you did squat jumps right into this, that's going to affect it differently. Or if you were doing something from a pre-exhaust standpoint, so let's say I wanted to work my hamstrings and my glutes, so instead of doing this, first I came here, I held this stork stance for let's say 30 seconds, a minute, whatever that was, and then I come into this, and now I start popping right through that. Pre-exhausting before I get to that is going to ask my body for a different adaptation, but it's also going to make this exercise a lot harder. So again, just changing the tempo and then potentially supersetting something, going right into the next thing. Those are going to be 2 easy things you can look at doing, potentially on just, let's say, a deadlift, could be a push-up, could be a pull-up, whatever that is. Slowing down the movement, speeding up the movement, and pairing it with something that's working the same muscle group as a superset. Those are all going to be easy ways that you're going to be able to make things more difficult when you don't have access to all the things you normally do. If you have a muscle group you're trying to work and you're not sure how to make it harder and you have questions on that, just feel free to reach out.